Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Hooked Outdoors TV. I'm Brian Crouch, here again with Steve Crouch, and in this week's episode, we're on Lake Loramie in Minster, Ohio. We're going to be doing some largemouth fishing. What do you think we're going to be getting into today?
Well, I think we're going to have a really good day on the water. We should be able to catch some fish throwing a spinnerbait. We'll start out in the morning throwing the spinnerbait here, and we should be able to get some fish flipping. They should be up shallow. It's a post-pond pattern that we're going to be dealing with. I'm thinking the fish are going to be on secondary points right around that area, and that's what we're going to focus on today.
All right, well, let's get out there. You guys sit back, relax, put your camo hat on, and enjoy the show.
I'm up before the sun, put my feet on the floor, a quick cup of coffee, and I'm heading out the door. I've been hooked on the outdoors since the age of 3, hunting and fishing just at me. We watch the sun come up, it breaks across the trees. The stillness of the morning sets me free. When I'm out on the water or out in the woods, I can leave my cares behind here. Life is good.
Provided in part by Skeeter Performance Fishing Boats, Buffalo Wild Wings, Indian Lake Outfitters, Buckeye Archery, Bass Boat Magazine, Ohio Cycle Works, and TSC Network in Gameface, Ohio.
Oh, got one. Record, dude. This is a hog. Oh my God. Up in the back here. That's a good fish.
That's good. Can you lift that for you?
Oh yeah, what a way to start the day. That's a good fish. If you can look right up there in that brush pile, he was just tucked in right against the logs there. Got him on a 1/4 ounce tempo spinnerbait, chartreuse and white. It's 1/4 ounce. I got a little tortoise shell gold blade with a nickel up front. But that fish, as soon as they hit the water, just sitting at about 8 inches of water, just come up and jumped all over it. So it's a good way to start the day.
Well, we were here, what, 5-10 minutes back in this channel. We had one on. It's a good 2.5. From now on, I got my scale in my bag too, so we'll weigh them if we have to. But we're out here on Lake Loramie. Let's see.
A little largemouth fishing finally.
Yeah, it's 7:40 in the morning. Sun's been up a good hour.
Yeah, we got a little late start this morning. Down here at Lake Loramie. It's located in Auglaize and Shelby counties. It borders kind of both of them. It's about a 1,655 acre lake, and most of the lake is no wake. It's just long and narrow. But
Now,
it's probably the most peaceful lake you've that will fish in Ohio.
Now, Lake Loramie's got a special thing that makes it different from the other lakes, and that's being so narrow. It's narrow and long. The residents that live around, Minster and the area, they know this lake real well, but it's really close to St. Mary's. So you got people coming out of town that'll usually go right to St. Mary's, and Loramie's overlooked a lot, but they're great for largemouth, and they're getting some crappie numbers over the years too. Especially this year, I guess they picked up on crappie. I've seen a lot online. So we missed the crappie, but we're out here doing a largemouth, and that's my favorite kind of fishing.
If you can see on the water, the cottonwood's flying. So we'll be picking cottonwood out of our line and baits a lot this morning. But what we did, we jumped on a little cut. We made a pass down the bank. We're starting out with spinner baits, and we're going to cover and get the aggressive fish with the spinner bait. Didn't take long to hook up with a 2 1/4 pounder. We'll go through here with the spinner bait, and then we'll switch back over and flip that same bank and try to pick up a few flipping fish that we missed up there on the rocks.
Just say we're going to be picking a lot of stuff off, and I've talked about this in my crappie episodes, and that's making this bait look as realistic as possible. You could have the best presentation, but if you even got one little piece of grass hanging on it, these bass are smart, and they're gonna look right past it. If you want to get everything off of here, you can. But
presentation's a big key down here, Brian. Get that spinner bait like you just did right up next to the bank. That first fish jumped all over it as soon as it wasn't 6 inches off the bank. What we'll probably get is a lot of males today. The spawn's pretty much over here. We should get a lot of males. We're going to look for some fry today, see if there's any fry. The water clarity isn't the best here at Loramie, but we can see down about a foot and a half right now. And we're sitting in right about 2 feet of water. But the key to Loramie is finding 2 pieces of different type of cover, whether it be rock and wood, rock and brush, rock and a cement wall that changes over. Anything that where you've got 2 pieces of 2 different types of cover. So we just went through and made one pass with spinner bait. We picked up a keeper. We're gonna switch over now and do some flipping real quick.
now, our strategy today is we're going to go through there and we're going to throw a search bait. Any kind of search bait is anything that's going to cover a lot of water really fast. So today we're throwing white and chartreuse spinner bait. I got a War Eagle on. It's just got a gold presentation as of, it's a little bit different than a regular silver presentation. But we're going to go through and hit these aggressive fish first and see if they're acting up and on the move. And then once we cover that area, we're going to go through and throw in our flipping jigs as he's doing here, and that's going to catch those fish that are slowed down. Bass are lazy. They love to sit and wait for their food to come to them, and they'll hide out in all these rocks here and dugouts in the landscape, and when you least suspect it, they'll light that bait up. So that's our strategy today. We're going to throw a search bait and then go through and finesse bait it. In this week's tackle breakdown, we were throwing one of 2 things on Lake Loramie. We were throwing a search bait and a finesse bait. Mine and Steve's both search bait of choice was a white and chartreuse spinner bait. Why white and chartreuse? Because the water was a little bit murky there on Lake Loramie, so those bass were able to see that a little bit better. On to our finesse baits. We were throwing flipping jigs because we were into some heavy cover. I threw a Berkeley Havoc Skeet Reese Pit Boss. This is a summer crawl. It's green pumpkin with a little bit of chartreuse on it with some black fleck. Steve, on the other hand, threw something a little bit different. He threw a Zoom Woolly Hog Crawl. But with the same concept, we were both throwing a spinnerbait and then flipping into those heavy cover. And that's this week's tackle breakdown.
Okay.
There's one right there. Not a big one, but it's a big fish. Not bad. He'll go 12. It's one of the smaller ones, but he'd go 12. So throw him on the white chartreuse spinnerbait. So we're gonna throw him in the live well and throw him back here in a little bit once we do a count. So one more in the live well.
There's one. Not a big one, but I think he's gonna keep. Oh yeah, he'll keep. Caught that one flipping right up against that log on the rocks. Our last 3 fish, that's where they've come, is right off the wood and rock combination. I really got the hook in that one too. Might need the pliers to dig this one out. Just about got him, there he is. That's about a 13-inch fish. Like I said, nothing big, but he hit that on the first flip up. I punched through that duckweed, and once I got it upside the log, it took off running. So that's just a little small male, typical Loramie fish, but we'll take him today. You can get up underneath this brush here. This area is right on this little area on the point. I normally get bit, catch fish here. It's a secondary point back up near a bridge in the river channel. And every fish we've caught today though has been on combination. It's rock and wood. If you got rock and wood together, you get bit. It's your best chance. We fished a lot of straight wood today. There's nothing on just wood alone that we can catch. So we've got our pattern. We know what we got to hit. They'll hit a spinnerbait. The trouble with right now is we can't get a spinnerbait into some of these areas because there's so much duckweed on top of the water. We're having a tough time crashing through it. So with a spinnerbait, and then once you do get through it, your swivels get all gummed up and your bait just don't work at all.
Missed one there.
Missed one?
You seem to want that. Just barely took it. Just took the line up and ticked it along. But he was moving back towards the bank, so.
That last fish I caught, boy, he took
was a
it.
fighter little guy, wasn't he?
He ran about 3 or 4 foot. Never felt the fish at all. Just seen the line take off running. That's with braided line, you usually feel something, but not every time. So we know our pattern today. Any place you've got rock with wood is you're going to be your best chance. Points, secondary points that are back in, you can find some rock and wood on there.
Now going into the lake today, you know, we talked about green pumpkin is a great color. Green pumpkin is almost blending right in with the
It's about the color of the water.
So what I did, we're not using a plain color, we're using a multicolor, so that way sometimes you'll see that flash of the bottom come up, and that's what's going to catch these fish's eye. along with the action that you're giving it.
Fishing is not easy today. You're having to work for them. The post spawn is a super tough time to fish, and that's when we're here. We're at the post spawn.
Somebody got caught.
But we figured out a little pattern where we can at least catch a few fish.
Got one bite there.
We tried the wood, figured we'd be some females on them out on the outside branches of the laydowns, but towards deeper water, but that hasn't panned out for us yet.
Not saying it won't, but like I said, largemouth fishing is largemouth fishing.
Yeah, largemouth.
It's a little bit harder than crappie fishing. Jeez. Oh my gosh. You know, here I'll go. Oh yeah. Come on. Under the boat. Oh my
This
gosh.
is a good fish.
Oh. Under the boat. Give me that.
There you go. Put him in there.
Yes.
Not a bad
Woo!
fish. I don't know if we got that. It's kind of turned here.
No, he had it.
But that
Oh
fish
my
just
gosh.
ate. That fish just ate that up. Once again, I flipped up in there. Never felt the hit at all. The line just started coming back towards the boat. And you can see the pumpkin, green pumpkin chartreuse that I have on, with a 3/0 hook and an 1/8 ounce weight. But a little black spot on his tail there. But another good 2-pound fish. Lake Loramie special here. All right, we're gonna put the scale to this fish right here and see how much he weighs real quick if I can get it turned around. Well, gotta zero it out. Which one zeros it? That fish go 2 pound 8 ounces, so that's a good fish, 2 pound 8 ounces. We'll throw him in the live well and then I'll show you what we caught him on. I'm throwing a Yum. It's a 4-inch woolly hog crawl in the green pumpkin pattern. Once again, that's made by Yum. It's got a real good scent to it. What I do is I take the tail and I dye that chartreuse, just the end tips. But that's what I'm catching them on today, is a Yum woolly hog crawl, 4-inch.
Today's tip of the week is about following up on a fish. Now, what does that even mean? Let me tell you what that means. A lot of times when you're out here throwing a bait, say this search bait here is a spinner bait, you throw it out there, and a lot of times if you don't hook up, this bass are going to come up and they're just going to knock it to the side. Now what you want to do, a lot of people make the mistake of taking the same bait and throwing it back out to the same spot. That's not entirely wrong, but what's going to help you out a lot in the long run is if you take that bait, set it down, pick up another bait such as I got this Finesse worm here. I got a 5-inch Cinco worm. You throw this in there to the same spot that bass just hit that spinner bait and really slow down that action. 9 times out of 10, if that bass is looking to eat, you're going to hook up on the same fish. Oh, he's on. Oh, there we go. It's our first fish on wood. Moved out of the channel that we were fishing, and it's our second biggest fish of the day. Moved out of the channel we were fishing, still throwing that white and chartreuse spinnerbait. I got a War Eagle on. It's got a Colorado and a turtle shell blade on it. That lets me slow roll it. And what I did is I tossed it up by a group of stumps, and was working it through the stumps, and he came up and ate it. I actually saw him eat it. So yeah, it's on. That's one more for the live well. That makes 5. Let's get a hold of one in here. Take this one first. Oh yeah. Jeez. I'll get one of these little ones out. Take that out. Well, folks, welcome back to Hooked Outdoors TV. As you can see, we had an awesome day, and we got a couple big old pigs. These are pushing 2.5 to 3 pounds of fish right here. We had a great day. We were fishing a lot of laydowns next to rocks. If they were sitting by themselves, they didn't seem to be hitting. We found that lake points and secondary points holding logs and rocks were holding these bass.
That was the whole key today. We got some flipping, we got some on the spinnerbait,
Yeah.
1/4 ounce spinnerbait, chartreuse and white. Flipping some feature baits, and we ended up with a total of 5 keepers. We probably caught a total of 8 to 10. A couple of them didn't keep.
Kicking.
So not a bad day on the water down here at Lake Loramie.
No, and I tell you what, we got some good fish in the boat as well. So.
People need to get down here to Lake Loramie and give this a try, because it is tons of fun.
Oh yeah, you can throw a spinnerbait all day and pull fish like this. So don't think you need to be a pro to get out here. Just get out here and fish. Get yourself a white and chartreuse spinnerbait and some sort of flipping jig. You're gonna catch fish like this.
Well, let's get these back in the water and
Yeah, let's get them back in the water and head home. Tell you what, I'm kind of hungry.
no kidding.
Yeah, some Buffalo Wild Wings sounds good, don't it?
Yep. Well, folks, we'll see you next time on Hooked Outdoors TV.
I've been swinging this axe for so many years, ain't got nothing to show. It's got me thrown out of my own house, this damn sure left me broke. Tell myself that one of these days I gotta put it away. The thought of that just breaks my heart, 'cause all I wanna do